yo, hello. Uh, Crazy. Grand finals time. Third British Brawl. Here we are. We got Round Midnight against Great Wave. I'm Mustard. Mega Last. How you doing?
Doing just good. Ready to watch this grand finals, obviously, These teams fought hard to get here, and hopefully it's going to be a good one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Round Midnight. Currently 4-0 map score. Winning, beating out GTV, Turbo W, and Hog and Paul Torture yesterday. And Great Wave, they got the bye in the quarterfinal, so you see them seeded directly into that semifinal, taking out Crewmate Moment in a 2-0. So, both these teams are undefeated in map score going game, so this should be a great one to watch.
I mean, absolutely. As you said, Great Wave, I think we'll start with. They did get that bye, but they still have a lot of talent with them. Just quickly flexing the roster real quick. We have Skybeam and Glizzy on the tanks. We have Wad, Jet, and Keith bringing up the DPS line, and Rover and Paracelsus bringing up the support line to start. Then why don't you tell us about Round Midnight there, Mustard?
Round Midnight, yeah. So, Insky played on PXP as Mini Kui in BPL A League. So, they have that A League talent in there, Super B, gods of B League. Thomas, Silcio, Eli, Ajax. Last two names there are relatively new names to the scene. However, they have been showing that they are here to stay, dominate play and whatnot. So this will be a great match to watch.
I mean, absolutely. And of course, Round Midnight has that potential to have a two-time champion with both Super B and Eli winning the first
Yep.
British Weekly Ball. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But, in order to win, you must start the game. And interestingly enough, this first map is going to be Nepal. Now, these teams, depending on what they want to play, I feel like Nepal can go any which way. It's one of those maps where you can kind of play the rush with the Mei. You can start opting into the double bubble if you have a really good Winston player. And just all in all, it's going to be very interesting to see what compositions these teams want to start with.
Yeah, and I mean, Nepal, neither of these teams have touched control, right? This is the first time we'll be seeing these teams on control as the first two maps during those first twos were hybrid. So here we are, first time seeing these teams roll out on control. Now I do see Glizzy on the team for for the Great Wave, so I assume they will definitely want to run double bubble or at least Zarya rush here. However, I guess both teams opting for that kind of rush mirror here.
Cindy, I mean, it's because of the fact it's village, there's so much control that Mei can have over the point. Two entrances to the point, a Mei wall perfectly fits in one of the doors, and it's just super simple, kind of doesn't really change with the meta. This is always where you've seen Mei played even before she became this kind of Brawl character. And interestingly enough, you were talking about the double bubble, but we're seeing Glizzy here on the Diva to start. Maybe not the normal pick, but it's going to be interesting as we do start this first to three here and now.
Indeed, yes. Remember, everyone, grand finals means it is first to three, so definitely great. We finally get to see these control as both teams arrive on the point. Round Midnight get there first, though, setting up the Symmetra wall. Symmetra turrets, I apologize, locking down the point. Oh, Ajax, though, able to pick three. They're just walking at him right now. They're just walking at Great Wave here, so they're just going to clean up house. That's just a quick and decisive fight win.
Yeah, that's how you always want to see these first fight goes. It's all about not only the teleporter placement where you want to go, but on top of that, making sure that speed boost is well coordinated to immediately hit your team right after the TP. And of course, as the losers of that fight, the Great Wave are immediately switching to a double bubble comp that they're maybe a little bit more comfortable on, but also the Pharah is very good for retaking on this point just because nothing can really deter you as everybody wants to play in the point on this rush comp.
Indeed. I mean, you have the nice poke coming out here with Wadded on the Pharah, so you can take care of the turrets, but maybe just take care of the backline as Wadded goes in, able to take out the T on the Baptiste. So that's a lot of healing out now, and the anti-nade making sure no one can get healed up. A nice shatter from Thomas means 3 kills going the way of Round Midnight here. So that, yeah, despite a nice opening pick from Wadded, I think they'll just get some fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge to get a pick off on the bat. It was leaving the round midnight with only Lucio healing, but there just wasn't really any follow up from the rest of the Great Wave to kind of initiate that advantage. You know, there didn't seem to be a Winston dive, and then also, of course, Thomas hitting a humongous shatter to be able to clean up some kills there. Going into this next fight, I mean, you have every ultimate you could ever want if you are round midnight here. I think this is definitely going to be a fight that goes your way, but how much do you have to spend to win it?
I mean, if they win the fight decisively here and stagger it out just enough, that this might just be last fight since the control point is reaching 80%. That Symmetra wall going down early proves to be fruitful as Skybeam and Keith Swag 08 do fall. So they're gonna have to wait for those respawns, but they don't really have the time to wait. 90% coming up here on the capture point.
Yes, indeed. And Mustard, you called it exactly. They won that fight with just one ultimate, so now it's going to be the entirety of this team here having to push into 4 ults, a Blizzard, and the window's out.
Oh, the Barrage able to pick off Eli, but you get to slide straight out for it. CEO dropping the beat as well. The nano boost onto Skybeam, zapping everyone away on that Winston. Will he use the primal here? He will probably have to as Glizziator follows Rovere. Gonna take it out just as the Valkyrie was popped. Keith and Skybeam though picking up 2 kills, looking to equalize this. Nice shatter from Thomas, making sure that the Tracer is no longer able to get any value. He's swag. Oh, Skybeam 24. I mean, yeah, they just got cleaned up quick there, and there it is, a decisive win. They didn't even need to use the Blizzard.
Yes, indeed. I mean, that was just a matter of, in that stall fight, sure, picks were starting to come through for the Great Wave, but only your Winston and Tracer were there, and once those 2 got cleaned up, the Winston coming out of Primal, extremely vulnerable, not having a whole lot of resources, especially when you have to keep touching that point, otherwise that overtime wick will just burn away on you. And that's just how the first round goes, you know? But, of course, it is just the first round of the first map, so it's nothing to sweat about if you're the Great Wave, and it's nothing to really brag about either if you're around midnight, you know? You gotta keep your head in the moment. You can't go into the future on yourself.
Yeah, you just gotta wait it out, and looks like that's what they're gonna do here. Both teams opting to teleport out of spawn. Classic strategy. Interesting. Ryan Winston.
Yeah, I don't know about this comp from the Great Wave, but they're going to engage here.
Ooh, nice kite away from Thomas, though. Make sure he doesn't get Maywalled off. I think that was a poof, actually, from Rovere to make that happen. Glizzy falls low, gets taken out by Eli in the back on the flank with that Tracer. Skybeam also falling. 4v6 here for Great Wave. Not looking too good as Round Midnight are poised to get that first cap on Nepal.
Yes, indeed, and I mean, it's just what value is the Mei going to get here? There's not really a target to freeze in double bubble, and even if you do get a freeze onto something, Zarya can just cleanse it, obviously, with the bubble. But we're seeing them still push in, probably just trying to wait for Blizzard here.
Yeah, ooh, a nice anti-nade from Minsky, though, but they're unable to capitalize. Thomas was low, never mind, look at that. Both mid tanks fall, Seal and Super B, the not so lucky getting taken out. Ajax will be the next one to topple, and it looks like a nice clean decisive win from the Great Wave. I mean,
I'm very curious as to how Super B died there. Obviously it was some sort of, you know, shooting.
I think he was right-clicking into the grav.
Yes, potentially just got too close to the sun, as they say, which is truly unfortunate because now you had to rebuild that energy. But you know, for the Great Wave, you're in a phenomenal position. You have 5 ultimates online here. You just traded Primal for a fight win, and the Nano Winston's already in, though.
Yeah, he's in the back line. Oh, the High Noon able to take out Thomas, though. Really unable to get any value as he popped the Primal there as well. Point pressure being taken by Seal there. Ooh, a nice High Noon from Ajax. Able to take out Wadit there, looking to contest Seal. But the beat re-engage from Rovere just secures 2 kills for the Great Wave. Looks like they are going to have to back up a little bit for now, but this is not a good situation if you're around midnight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of trades back and forth, and if that beat did not come through from Rovere, both of his tanks are going to fall there, so absolutely big from him to recognize that, but also make sure that they were getting the beat. Going into the next fight, you see Seal CEO now switching over to Lucio themselves, probably just to kind of make this comp a little bit faster, make it so the Rhine can't run at you. But they're going to have to play into
the Rhine swap.
Oh, and the Rhine swap as well, so now they're on the mirror, but this is where I favor the Mei, but the
Ooh, unable to get a pick Gets Glizzy very low though, so could be the go button for Round Midnight. Thomas getting pinned against the wall, but able to be kept alive by his team. But the Blizzard and the Primal onto Thomas, making sure that he is getting far away from safety there. And just kill after kill after kill. The kill feed is just lighting up blue for the Great Wave here. Team kill. And that should be Nepal Sanctum going the way of the Great Wave.
I mean, yeah, they came out on this very unorthodox comp, and I was questioning the value of the Mei, but I guess it really wasn't about the Mei there. I mean, Glizzy on the Winston would just had such almost uncontested amounts of free reign to do whatever they please. And that really can't happen, especially when there is a McCree on the other side. It's not like they weren't playing McCree at all. Like, the McCree was there the whole time for Ajax. It's just you didn't really ever see it slow down the Winston. So now going into this third point, you're probably going to see the Winston again just because it works so well for them. And obviously the Sim TPs out of the spawn. It's pretty much just a standard on all Koth maps at this point. Just Sim TP, make your team go a little bit faster.
Round Midnight don't have that Symmetra locked in here, so they will likely be headed to point second, but we shall see. Both teams are actually relatively even. Again, that Ryan and Winston composition coming out from the Great Wave has definitely been interesting, but it seems to be paying them dividends here.
Absolutely, as they're just kind of poking and posturing with the Great Wave getting the first kind of cap of the point, even though it hasn't unlocked yet. And especially with those sim turrets set up, that's something you got to look out for on your engage if you are around midnight.
Yeah, they are cutting over to the other side where the turrets are not set up, which I think is definitely a nice decision. They do give up that point control early, which is fine. Build yourself up the advantageous position, but as I say that, Paracelsus with the window. Oh, but Eli taking the peak of his life, taking out Wadit, but trading his life in response. Minsky with that window, looking to keep his team nice and topped up. Lizzie in the back line. Will he be able to secure a kill? Yes, he will. Ajax is down, but Skybeam falls in the process. So a lot of trades going both ways. Paracelsus proving that he's the better Baptiste player, as a Primal from Glizzy goes on the point looking to stall out the percentage or even win the fight here, as it looks like that will be the case. Super B gets demeched and Thomas falls to just a sliver of health. So there it is. Nice hold. Nice hold from Great Wave.
Phenomenal hold from Great Wave, but like that was just such a crucial mistake from around midnight. You know, the Winston is in your backline. You know he's there. He's slowly tasing down your McCree, and nobody helped Ajax. They just kind of let him fall over, and then all of a sudden the Winston's on your supports, and there's no Cree to stop him. But Eli started this fight with a very large game.
My god, a nice pick from Eli, opening the point right up. Ajax with the amp speed high noon. Picks off Gerald. Kitswago 8 there. No, Skybeam picking up a new pair of crocs. As the tank line just cleans up house.
I mean, you know, there's only so much you can do there. And I think as well, for the side of Round Midnight, you invest Deadeye and your Dragon into that fight somewhere. I mean, not getting any value for either of those, as well as Eli. Don't get me wrong, we've seen the pick on the sim once or twice, but it's just not enough. You seem to need to pick more, as Wadit is going to start with the wall on this one.
Yeah, nice wall to start off the fight. Revere gets stunned up, but unable to get taken out. Skybeam just swinging away, picking off Ajax. Oh, a nice shatter from Thomas, proving that he is the better main tank there. But someone has to touch a point. 97, 98. Okay, there's a touch. Super B with a nice zoning, self-destruct. With assistance from the beat to keep himself alive. The Blizzard. There it is. There's the Blizzard. But you know what? At this rate, it's just a cherry on top. Round Midnight are just staggering on the point, looking to stall out this overtime. But they got to be careful. They got to stay on it. Like they can't get back on that control point. Great Wave drawing first blood in the grand finals.
Absolutely earning that map out. Obviously, you kind of discount Village, kind of remove that one from your memory, and all in all, pretty dominant here on this map. Of course, we have played the game here. Just a lovely, lovely shatter you're going to see once that shield goes down, and there it is.
That flashbang was just a few milliseconds too late. If that flashbang had come out just a midgen earlier, then they would have canceled that shatter, and Round Midnight would have been able to turn that fight. But
you know, as they say, that hits on land. That hits on land.
Yeah, it's on land. Hits on land. So true. So true. And yeah, See, these teams will have swaps. Again, both these rosters have 7 players on, so there will be substitutions coming in. Looks like Rob Midnight will be going to Gibraltar, and we've seen their dominant Gibraltar play yesterday in both games as well. Just absolutely dumpstering the competition on Gibraltar twice, even, which is absolutely crazy. Meme will come in for Ajax is for around midnight, and
I mean, yeah, it's just
yeah, there should be one more substitution. But man, this'll be interesting.
it's going to be interesting, especially I'm more concerned about the Great Wave going into Gibraltar because yes, Glizzy was absolutely dominant on the Winston there, but that was a Winston Reinhardt composition, and I don't know if you can do the same thing on Gibraltar. So is it going to be Glizzy that continues to play the Winston and we're going to see Skybeam flex over to potentially a Zarya or Diva? Or is Glizzy going to kind of have to relinquish the Winston back to Skybeam? I think that's going to be interesting. But regardless
Yeah,
of who's playing it, I think around midnight they just kind of had to peel for wherever the Winston is diving, as they pretty much that's what cost them, especially in that last round. I mean, the Winston just goes uncontested in your backline, and nobody really cares about it.
yeah, and it'll be interesting because Glizzy has been known for his Zarya play in the past. You know, throughout these British Brawls, we have seen him flex around to, maybe some PS play, maybe some off tank play, main tank play here today. So I think it'll be interesting to see him if he does play that Zarya again. I would definitely love to see that. Uh, he is known for his Zarya play. So I think if you do run double bubble, that is something that you want to look forward to for the Great Wave.
So yeah, they're actually on the defense here, so we're gonna see their comp be a little bit more solid first. And it was kind of like I was saying, Glizzy was just doing so much on the Winston there. It's gonna be Skybeam going over to the Zarya. Sure, maybe, not the most comfortable pick, but it's just Zarya. How hard could it be? That's the kind of mentality you gotta
Just track them all.
just track them. But the difference in compositions is going to be, once again, Eli on this Hanzo. And I mean, now that you're in a double bubble mirror, maybe the Hanzo will provide a bit more value simply because of the Grav Dragon potential. That's pretty much a guaranteed fight win as long as you're landing those ults. And of course, McMean probably just going to TP everybody to the high ground and then swap over to potentially a Tracer. It's going to be interesting to see what they end up going over to. But actually,
There
Eli
it
is taking us out and going to the Echo.
Yeah, I think Eli opting for that Echo Mirror might actually be a good play. Getting pickies, just, be sure you're playing on the same tempo with your teammates. I think that is just a good pick for Eli, but not really looking like Round Midnight can really do anything. They're just kind of chilling, right? There's just not much going on, but they are taking a lot of poke, which means Minsky will have a lot of nano charge, but on the other side, Gerald is halfway to his duplicate, but looks like Eli and McMean pulling out some heroics here, taking out their DPS counterparts. Again, 2-4 Round Midnight are just pushing the advantage here. Nice peel from Glizzy there, but yeah, they're just pressing the advantage here. I think that was just the pick you needed there for Round Midnight.
Yes, indeed. But if you're the Great Wave, you're not too burnt about it. This is really where the fights on Gibraltar start. And we're seeing the Nano Winston engage from Glizzy.
Will he get a kill? Will he get a kill? Oh, has to reload. Looks like Round Midnight actually doing an amazing job of just kiting. And while that was happening, Round Midnight just said, yeah, well, Winston's in our backline. Yeah, we'll go out your backline. And that's exactly what they did. And it looks like they came out on top there. Nice daggers with that forward spawn. Not Rovere, so Card's just probably gonna keep rolling here for Round Midnight. This is just an amazing position, and I think we saw this yesterday too.
Yes, indeed. And also, as you just highlighted in that last fight, just Thomas goes into the backline with the Nano at the same exact time. And going into this next fight, I think you'll absolutely take that if you are Round Midnight, because you have every ultimate you could ever want. You have the duplicate. You're gonna have Graviton. Thomas has Echo, or Primal, I should say.
Yeah, there's the duplicate. Eli's already built up the primal on the duplicate in less than 5 seconds. A grab as well from Supreme, making sure. Oh my god, McMeme picking up 5. Will it be 6? Will it be 6? Will they give him the 6k? Will they give him the 6k? All he has to do is he's hunting for Glizzy. He's hunting for Glizzy. Ah, Thomas
with the melee. The one interesting thing I'd like to note, as we're just seeing the cleanup kills, if you got the forward spawns here on defense, it's unlucky for you, either run or jump off the cliff. But 4 ultimates invested, you know, maybe you didn't need the duplicate on top of the grab, Deadeye, and Primal, but it's just one of those things where you're not going to be too hurt about it, because you have this 5-minute time bank going into Gibraltar 3rd. I mean, that's absolutely stupendous for any team.
Yeah. Oh, Gerald with that duplicate copy onto the Winston instantly gets stunned and slapped and chipped down. Looks like he'll just barely be able to get that primal rage off, but before he can even get any value, looks like lots of picks going both ways. Teams are at a 4v4 right now. Never mind. Great Wave picking up the player advantage. No, Glizzy falls.
I mean, yeah, but defender advantage is very heavy, especially on 3rd point, so I think you're gonna have to do some sort of reset here, as we're seeing the Reinhardt swap now, and it's just a swinging, but they're still going.
Yeah, and there it is, McMeme. More McCree prowess there, on Gerald, and a little bit of over-aggression, I think. Skybeam, and it looks like Round Midnight are gonna want to push this advantage. Waddit getting taken out there. The high noon from McMeme. The zone it. No one can touch the point. There it is. They cap with 410.
That was just a brutal kind of map-long snowball. As you said, that fight previously, it was kind of going both ways, and you always want to favor the defenders there because they can regroup as 6, but they didn't really do that. And even, like, once the Reinhardt came in, sure, existing for just a moment before Eli just decided to click the sticky bombs, followed up with the focusing beam, and just melted him away, but that wasn't even, like, any crazy ult. I think it was just primal from Thomas in that last fight. It was just kind of raw damage versus staggered out the Great Wave.
Yeah, Great Wave not really looking too great on this map. Around Midnight just showing that they are the kings of Gibraltar in this tournament here. So it'll be interesting. I mean, Great Wave didn't really push their advantage, their defenders there on that fight on 3rd point. They got the picks, but then they just really couldn't stabilize. They couldn't, like, run back at Round Midnight, especially when they had equal numbers. They just let Glizzy get picked off, and then after that, you can't. You're down. You can't really do anything. You know, Round Midnight's respawning, and they just lose the point off of it.
Yes, indeed. But now I think we need to kind of highlight this interesting composition we're seeing here from Round Midnight. The Roadhog is in play with the Sigma. Very interesting to hold this high ground instead of opting into the mirror, which you just saw you were so dominant in. Maybe a little bit of cockiness could go their way, but this could be also an opening for the Great Wave. You know, punish the overconfidence right now. That could be your motive.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of the crack pipe comp that we saw them run yesterday for both their matches as well, and it worked out so well. Just being able to hold teams left, right, and center. McMeme getting a pick on to Gerald means gonna have to back up just a little bit here. It's looks like he's moving on to the May. Looks like it's gonna be a full rush swap, which should be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of high ground map, which Rush is not really known for being good at.
Well, I agree with the rush swap, unless, you know, picks like this are about to come through as the fight's already starting.
But, like, man, this will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Round Midnight kite back from this. Looks like they're just poking out the rush comp. Again, that's just what your comp can do so well at. A nice anti-nade as well. Means Waddit will be falling early. Paracelsus getting picked off by Mick on that Ash, and it looks just fallen over for the Great Wave. No longer are you great. No longer are you a wave, as we kind of just got cowed there.
Yeah, just a little miniature cow. But I mean, I don't actually mind the rush comp from the Great Wave. I don't like the way they're playing it, you know? There's no Winston or anything on the high ground to really pressure you, so do what they're doing now, where do you just play the cart, but McMeme just getting picks like that between the Bob and just the headshot damage onto the May.
Yeah, picks are just gonna be, you know, getting that car space is gonna be hard when you have a Bob and an Ash staring you down. McMeme picking up another one onto Rovere. Finally, they take out McMeem, but at what cost? You know, they lose half their team. They are able to get the resurrection off. So, you know, your kill is like nothing at all. There's the dragon ready for Eli as well. McMeem picking off Skybeam. Paracelsus using that immortality field already. That nano boost as well on the Thomas. Just that Great Wave are just gonna have to keep pressing the Esky.
I mean, just by nano boosting Thomas, he doesn't really get any value out of the nano, but just him existing as a nano Roadhog, that is such a terrifying presence that the entirety of the Great Wave just has to back off, and now you're in this really brutal position on Rush where you have to take the high ground. And even if you want to go low ground, there's just a hog that can live forever on cart. There's nothing for you to really punish it or slow it down.
Yeah, I mean, you just see it here. And, like, nice beat from Rovere to make sure his team stays stopped up, especially against that Sigma Riddick Flux. Eli getting taken out by Paracelsus at long last. Thomas getting headshot through the window. And there it is. Great Wave finally able to break through this interesting defense from around midnight, but they use a lot of their ultimates and a lot of their time bank just...
I mean, but you're okay with those ultimates being used because if you look on the side around midnight, they invested everything. They're now making composition switches. You're going to have the stagger picks as the old spawns are switched out. Oh, the Diva is actually going to be a brutal stagger here.
Yeah, but don't discount the Diva. We did see yesterday Super B got a 4K remake.
I mean, yeah, so watch out for the baby. Watch out for the baby. That's all we can say.
Yeah, do not discount Diva just yet. Both teams are moving in here. Kind of this high ground skirmish. Ooh, a nice shatter from Skybeam. Glizzy taking up kill after kill after kill. Because again, you have the Winston, you have the shield, but you know, that bubble doesn't last that long. And once that bubble is down, Skybeam has free reign to drop a shatter. Nice cap, 4 minutes on the clock for Great Wave, but I mean, you're not beating a time bank. No shot.
I mean, yeah, I was about to highlight it myself. Just the fact that even though you've steamrolled through point B that effectively, you're still going to have a negative time bank, even if you finish the map. And finishing the map is not a guarantee. We see Super B now over to the Zarya, potentially just to complete that double bubble. And we're seeing the Deadeye from Wadet first here.
Ooh, a nice bubble, actually. Yeah, very nice bubble from Thomas, making sure that his team is nice and topped up. The nano boost on him as well, allowing him to stay alive despite getting tight and frozen, and builds up the primal. He is going to let it rip in the backline. Eli taking out Skybeam means that Thomas just going to have free reign over everyone. Ooh, the window and the grab. The window, grab. Wadet able to just pump shots through on that McCree, but it's not enough. Great Wave, and I have to go back to the drawing board.
So at some point during that fight, I'm assuming it's the reason Rovere beat it, Eli threw off a dragon and already 57% to another one. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. That shouldn't be something you see every single time, and they're pretty much almost perfectly in sync to earn this grab dragon in an extended fight here. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they can get it online to win this one.
This positioning from around midnight is great because you have McMeem just chilling here in the back line, and you're just not really doing anything about it. As you see, he gets a pick onto the Mei. Eli getting one on the Glizzy, but trading for Thomas. In the meantime, this might be devastating though, but the grab dragon combo comes out. Eli picking up two, McMeem cleaning up Skybeam. So again, just this nice crossfire being set up for around midnight.
And I mean, it's taking advantage of the fact that the Great Wave is now on this Reinhardt because they want to run maybe it's just a comfort pick for Skybeam instead of the Winston, which is fine, but that means you have nobody to go to that high ground, nobody to really poke up there unless you want to kind of go up as a team and force McMeem down. But if you don't force him down, I mean, he'll just keep taking shots. He's 91 to another Deadeye.
Yeah, he's still up there, and they're trying to force him down. So Great Wave are very split right now. Looks like they're able to do that. Thomas and McMeem both fall the window and the high noon through it. Doesn't secure any kills, but you know what? That's okay. That's two ultimates used. So Rovere with the beat here, make sure his team stays nice and topped up, as Eli was able to pick off Wadet, a nano onto Super B on high charge as well. McMeem picking one off on Paracelsus and Gerald. So they're gonna have to go back to spawn once again. the spawn advantage that we alluded to earlier is just really coming in handy for around midnight.
Yes, indeed. And I think it's also just, like I said, it's to highlight the value of the Winston here being able to take the high ground. And also, interestingly enough, because of the fact that we're seeing the Mei versus Hanzo as well, Mei doesn't really have a target to freeze without the Reinhardt, and then Eli just able to kind of fire for free, either up on this high ground or way in the back line, consistently getting picked. Almost had another dragon here.
Yeah, and we'll see if he unleashes it this fight. Super B gets taken out. He might actually wait for that grab come online. McMean getting Paracelsus means there's a lot less healing for the Great Wave. Just gonna launch that dragon on the car, getting a lot of damage out, but Seal does fall. Glizzy with the grab, able to freeze up around midnight, not allowing them to touch the point. On the topic of freeze, there's a blizzard going out as well. McMean all coming out on the tracer, able to pick off water, but Keith Swag in saying no sorry, Super B. So he's able to pick one off, but Eli respawning, able to get 2 picks. Still CEO as well on that rally, coming back in 2.16 meters shy of 3rd point for the Great Wave. They have to touch here. Oh, but McBeam is on shit. He's on the funny robot. No one will touch, and there it is, round midnight, taking up the 2nd map, and just holy shit, man! Around midnight have just been insane on Gibraltar these past few days. Just absolutely rolling every team in their path on this map.
I mean, it's definitely a phenomenal strategy as we see just this Deadeye. Potentially, you know, in terms of your scrims, just find one map that you know you're going to play a bunch, or maybe you can guarantee your picks or whatever, and just absolutely perfect it, just so that way anytime you go there, it's because not only do you win the map, you immediately are putting the momentum in your favor going forward in the series as well. So good for around midnight, but again, we are tied up 1-1 here. Still going to be a first to 3, so we still got some maps to go, and I think it's just going to be more adjustments have to come through. The Great Wave potentially needing to find an answer for the just who can see if they can find a way to field both Winston and Zarya at the same time and have both players comfortable at what they're playing, you know, because the rush there just was not effective for them at all.
Yeah, and especially on Gibraltar, if you don't have the diva, if you're trying to play rush, again, you just have that scenario where McBeam sits in the back line and just wreaks havoc, and you can't really do anything about it because you don't really have, you know, diva to contest. Sure, you could send maybe your Baptiste and Lucio, but then that's your support line. You know, so there's just not much you can really do. Aurelia will be coming in for Keep the Swag 08 at Kate Gerald for this map, which I believe will be hybrid.
Yes, indeed. But the next map is actually going to be happening after the break because, you know, nice little halftime, give everybody a second to rest and relax. So make sure you're not going anywhere. Make sure you go get maybe a little sip of some drink, maybe go to the bathroom. We're just getting started here, and we'll be back after the break.
been visited by the spirit of cute white boy. Main tank differential will come your way, but only if you spam go see dub go.
Yo, welcome back. You guys miss us? Probably not, but we are moving into the third map. Both these teams are had up one apiece, again showing their dominance on the different points. Great wave, kind of taking over control to losing that point, and then you have around midnight who just kind of said, "Yeah, we're Brawl." So here we are, 1-1.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, maybe it's a tactic, throw that first map to guarantee the Gibraltar pick coming after. I mean, it could be a strategy.
It's a great way to boom them. I will boom them.
It's a great way to boom anybody. But moving forward in this series, both teams having to make adjustments for. Interestingly enough, both teams need to counter Winston better. One team maybe not playing enough Winston, maybe one team playing too much Winston. It's kind of weird, especially now that we're going into Eichenwald. Potentially Winston might even be off the table. We might be just going into Rhine.
Yeah, it'll
Timeline.
be interesting because I mean, Eichenwald, especially on second point, you can definitely get away with bubble, right? Castle high ground. You can even do it on first because you just kind of stage, jump the back line, and if you're able to take that forward space, right, right where that like mini health pack is, if you're able to kind of take that area, then you can set up a dive, jump in onto the back line. So it'll be interesting to say the least. See what these teams run out on. Round midnight yesterday as well were absolutely dominant. They played Eichenwald yesterday and kind of just won on the Rush Mirror. So I want to see how Great Wave reciprocate. Yeah, especially after taking such a heart-wrenching defeat on Gibraltar. How are they gonna bounce back really after this halftime break?
And of course, you did highlight it as well before we went into the halftime substitution. Keith Swag is out, and we're gonna have Aurelia in, and maybe the reason for that is just the May play. Not to try to blame anyone because it's never just one person's fault, obviously, but just the May was not able to get a lot of value simply because it wasn't a rush mirror. Without the Reinhardt, and especially with a Hanzo sitting way in the back line, there's nothing for May to really freeze or slow down about a fight, especially when the Winston on the other side wants to keep it high tempo and just keep going. So you know, hopefully this DPS swap up will see some changes of some kind. But if it's a rush mirror, I mean, we're just going right back to May, and who really knows who wins out?
That is true. I mean, it'll be interesting because Rodman aren't exactly connoisseurs that a rush. They do prefer keeping Eli on Hanzo, and he has shown that, yeah, don't put me on May because I'm definitely a better Hanzo player. So this, I think it'll be interesting because we might actually see that pick, but only time will tell as we load into the map.
Yes, indeed. And maybe, you know, in the 2-minute halftime we had there, maybe Skybeam and Glizzy were able to sort something out about, okay, you know, maybe try to find a way to keep Glizzy on the Zarya full time just because it's, you know, the more comfortable pick. Even though, you know, Glizz has picked up the Diva before, maybe has to do it again here, especially in this grand finals. You know, you're not just playing against any random team. This is the grand finals. Everyone's trying their best to win or go home.
Yeah, and I mean, frankly, if you're playing Overwatch, I think you want to go home. I'm gonna be real. But these teams are here to win. So we do have, again, Glizzy looks like he will be opting for that Zarya. Again, just kind of what he's better at. But it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get as much value, because especially when you have a lot of projectiles, right? Like Eli and Meme, you know, Kree Hanzo, it's just a lot of projectiles. Diva would be perfect for eating up all of it.
Yes, indeed. But I think, you know, I was highlighting before, and I'm going to highlight again, this May difference might actually decide. Now that we're on the Rush Mirror, and it's going to be Wadet over on the May instead of the Hit Scan, I mean, this is the time for May to shine. You can wall off the enemy Rhyme, but if you're not getting value on that May, then Eli, I think, is just going to farmhouse, and it's going to be ridiculous. As we're already into the first
you can
fight
already
on
see it, yeah. Like Eli, 40% on that dragon, getting a lot of poke damage out onto the tanks for Great Wave. Looks like Ron Midnight are just going to be giving up space, but I think they're gonna be giving up a lot more than space here, because their tank just kind of got melted. They just kind of played too passively.
Well, see, the issue with the composition now here for around midnight is because you're lacking that May, you can't slow the fight down at all. And especially if Glizz is going to be on the Zarya, it's all about that tempo, right? And they're going to want to play it faster, as we're already seeing Dragons in kind of this weird stagger fight on high ground here, as the point hasn't even moved from point A yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they kind of forgot that they had to move the point. It looks like Round Midnight do recognize that no one is moving the cart, so they will just siege it. These teams have just swapped position.
Attackers and defense, you know, maybe you want to play point A again, you know, try it out. It's like scrim rules, you know?
Yeah, it's scrim rules, you know. They're gonna play point A again here as the window gets dropped by Paracelsus, looking to re-engage. Thomas falling extremely low from pokes from every which way. McMeme though with the high noon as Grey Wave try to, you know, move in here, and they pick up a clean fight win, but you do lose seal, you do lose a lot of your speed boost, kind of that extra tickle healing, and considering the fact that you're at their spawn, I don't think you really want to. So yeah, Round Midnight are gonna back off, but that is just an amazing fight.
Yeah, you know, you burn a little bit of extra time, especially considering how fast point A was capped. You'll take that little extra bit of time burn, but if you're the Great Wave here, you're not really minding all too much, just because you're looking at your ult bank. You're gonna have Graviton, you're gonna have Shatter coming up on Blizzard. I mean, just using Window to re-secure the point, and you still have a massive time bank going into point B, you know, you're in a pretty good spot, most would say.
Yeah, and you see there's that kind of the repeat of that castle fight that happened earlier. Eli picking off Paracelsus does mean that Great Wave are gonna have to slow down just a little bit. Eli picks off Aurelia there as well. So again, Eli's Hanzo pick showing that they don't need a May to play the better rush. So there.
I mean, yes, exactly. I mean, Eli being able to prove me wrong with these Hanzo's picks, but that's the whole thing, is if the Hanzo isn't get picked, you'll see like fights like point A where the Great Wave is able to just roll over the rest of Round Midnight here. So Eli has to maintain consistency, has to keep getting these picks. And it's hard, but it's possible. As we see again, Paracelsus just being caught out. You can't lose your Baptiste like this over and over.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the dragon as well from Eli cutting off Great Wave there. Aurelia getting picked off in very terrible position. flash beam as well. Another fan on the sky beam. So you can't keep having this happen. Cannot keep letting your team get picked.
And they haven't been able to use any ultimates, so the side of Around Midnight has been able to mirror the ult economy. We're 5 ults on each side. You know, one team doesn't have a window, one team is missing their dragon. But at the rate Eli is going, he'll have another dragon before Paracelsus gets his window online, you know? Don't be afraid to initiate with an ult here, I'd say. Either team, you know, just take the fight in your favor, as we're seeing the Deadeye already.
Ooh. Not great positioning, though, for that Deadeye. Yeah, so he does cancel it. And Great Wave just recognized, yeah, maybe let's just push the cart. So there they are. McBeam on the flank. Flash. Fan. There it is. Picking off Aurelia, his counterpart. Shatter. Blizzard. Self-destruct. Ult's going every which way. Super B with the 2K remake. You gotta watch out, man. Pulse Bomb. This D.Va Pulse Bomb. Absolutely deadly. And Revere is all that's left. He's all that's left. And yeah, they're just gonna go back to spawn. I mean, that was definitely good call from the Great Wave to say, yeah, let's just push the cart. Because if you're playing Rush, especially with the Mei, you're gonna want the other team to push into you because it's easy to punish a rotation with the Mei wall, crease stun. And they couldn't really do that there.
No, they could not, and they expend a lot of their ultimates as well, but they're gonna earn window here. But the dragon's already on high ground where they're trying to push.
Oh, the boop! Seal CEO picking off Skybeam there. Nice boop. And you're down 2, investing the window as well. You might be able to turn it now that you've picked off McBeam, but it does not look likely. I mean, you are down to me.
Yes, indeed. Oh, but the Shatter actually coming out being pretty big.
Interesting Shatter.
I mean, this fight seems to still be going on. Everyone's just poking back and forth, committing ultimates, but it's just chaos. Everybody is everywhere. It's devolved pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, this is kind of the gameplay you expected from P-League.
Thomas just so sad there.
Yeah, that's the Overwatch experience. Shell. Another bomb from Super B. Will it get anyone? No, but he does.
Super B!
Another 2K remake kill.
I mean, like,
man.
at this point, it's like, I don't even want to give Super B credit anymore. I want to just scold the entirety of the Great Wave. Like, you know that's what he's looking for. Punish the baby D.Va. You have time, but it's just the pressure being created by the bomb, and it's something that D.Vas can do really well. Speaking of D.Vas, though, you know, Gladiator coming over to a bomb themselves, and they're initiating a
engage. Oh, nice E from Glizzy. Oh, and a reciprocation from Super B eating that Blizzard from Wadded. Minsky's the first to fall in this chaotic fight. Silcio with the beat, keeping his team topped up with none of that Baptiste dead. Eli able to pick off Wadded as Glizzy self-destruct finds no one. Eli getting another pick. McMeem as well. DPS around midnight showing that they are the best in this event. Skybeam, though, taking out his counterpart, Reinhardt, just kind of, you know, showing off that little main tank difference. And yeah, there it is. Great Wave able to come out on top there, but it came at a cost.
I mean, absolutely. And we're in overtime here. There's probably going to be one more fight here if you're around midnight, and you probably want to fight it. You have Shatter, you have Deadeye, and you can win, or not win, but rather stop this payload right here.
Here's the main tank battle. Both teams have Shatter. Oh, but Skybeam Shatter is just bigger. 4, 5 picks going both ways as Super B is really just gonna stall out the cart here, and just a clean last fight there, just to roll the cart in, but it ate all your time. And considering they capped point A in under a minute, that's you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be devastated for a Great Wave.
I mean, yes, but on the reverse side of it, if you're around midnight, you'll absolutely take that, especially because in that final fight, or what potentially final fight there, you only invested Shatter, so you still have all your ultimates for the fight coming up here, as there's already a minute left, both windows out.
Oh, what a nice opening pick on Eli, but McMeem and Thomas, you know, send 2 back, and McMeem still CEO falling. Should just spell disaster. The bomb from Super B able to demech Glizzy, but Super B does not live to tell the tale. So Whoa, wait, Eli, wait. Those are big picks, my man. Okay. I don't know how that Dragon Strike caught Skybeam at all, but that was the pick they needed. Eli cracked that one wide open. And here we see the Eli Junkrat.
Yes, the Eli Junkrat, very interesting. You're seeing Super B go over to the Zarya, which I think is actually the better pick here with this final fight coming up, simply because you're going to have to watch out for these Doomfist punches, bubble whoever gets punched, keep them in the fight, and the Meteor Strike's gonna come out because Wada has been stuck on this just pretty much as a stall the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he goes in, goes down instantly. Eli picking Paracelsus off. That bomb unable to get any picks from Glizzy Ader, and oh, big shatters both ways, but actually not both ways. Only big shatters one way as Thomas cleaning up house. Window on top, just for good measure, and there it is. Stop the cart. Just shy point C.
I mean, considering how point A went, you've got to be kicking yourself if you have the great wave. You got all of your time stalled out on point B by just an impressive defensive hold from Round Midnight, and then you're not even able to complete the map, which, you know, it gives almost that sort of burning hope now inside of Round Midnight, because it went from we have to match time bank to now we just have to get farther than they did, and they didn't even get fully to the end. They pretty much just got around the second corner here on point C, and they'll have this map and go up 2-1 in the series, which, you know, 2-1's not the end anymore. It's first to 3, but it's definitely going to put pressure on any which team that wins it.
Yeah, and both these teams are gonna have to be looking to win this fight. You have to carry the momentum, especially if you're around Midnight, especially after such a dominant Gibraltar. You're gonna want to carry that momentum. That's what they're intending on doing. And it looks like both teams kind of rolling out on what they had, you know, earlier in the game. Just mirror the rush, but instead of a Mei, you have Ponzo. It's just,
I mean,
what they did earlier.
I would say it's definitely going to be harder for Eli on the offense to find picks on the Hanzo, but Eli has been finding these picks through Miracle. But also, you know, Glizz flexing over to the Diva once more just because it's what's required. But we already know that Glizz is more comfortable on the Zarya, more comfortable on just things like that. So Diva is definitely going to be harder. But, you know, we've seen some eats, so it's not like we're dealing with the world's worst Diva player or anything, as we're seeing this kind of little engagement poke on high ground here.
Nice little skirmish. Water falling very low, but able to get topped up. Pause coming in actually for the Great Wave. So looks like we will be thrown to a pause for a brief moment. Looks like Great Wave having a little bit of issues. So yeah, I mean, again, Glizzy on this Diva just hasn't been able to find as much value as Super B. Again, you know, especially Super B with those not only with those remake kills, but also, you know, big bombs, able to get 1 pick, 2 pick, or even like going into the back line and just being able to, you know, just that pressure, just general pressure, just Super B able to get more of that over Glizzy, as looks like we're gonna be coming back into the map.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, just a quick little pause for some Discord issues. You know, 2021, we all have internet, as we're seeing this brawl sort of start, and the Reinhardts are just swinging at each other, trying to build shatter, or being wary of the maze. Standard rush stuff, you know, nothing too crazy out of the line yet. As walls are being used.
Though, he is falling very low, and early immortality from Paracelsus. A nice eat onto the Dragon Strike by Glizzy. So Eli gonna be painful after that one, but McMeme picking up 2 big picks. High noon as well from McMeme, just kind of zoning it off, and you know, window from Paracelsus just unable to find any values by dropping it early. And sure, he gets a kill. Sure, I guess he could prove he's the better Baptiste player, I guess. But
yeah,
that's just a decisive fight.
It's a decisive fight. It was huge from Glizz to eat the Hanzo Dragon, but whether it was intentional or not, it was just kind of a divert of attention where, you know, once the Diva leaves to go eat the Dragon, can't reposition in time to stop the McCree damage from coming in and picking off 2 like that. And it's just kind of unfortunate. McMeme has been absolutely stupendous on this McCree throughout all of the maps thus far, but this DPS duo for the side of Round Midnight has just been lights out, whereas we're not seeing really that kind of same energy come out from the Great Wave.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that's just an unlucky ball. It just got broken by the payload. Oh, but that's pretty lucky though. Skybeam getting a nice shatter onto around midnight, just laying around. There it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone's falling from around midnight. So, just, but still, yeah. I mean, you gotta, you gotta just kind of have better, and both of them have the self-destruct, and usually just that ultimate usage is what sets them apart.
Absolutely. And now going into this next fight, though, the self-destructs are going to be online, but Aurelia already getting a pick on the steal. But McMean trying to trade it back already, and the Dragon starting as well. This is going to be a very interesting brawl-out fight.
Yeah, and like again, you just see Skybeam just kind of chilling around, kiting here, but what will he really do? Thomas has the shatter. Will he get it? He lays out the back line. Glizzy and Wadded fall. The beat from both sides, unable to save Wadded, however. The Skybeam is just free-swinging on the payload right now. Even a contested, he builds up another shatter, but with the Aurelia with the high noon, just kind of cleaning up house. Super B taking out Revere somehow, and just, you know, pressure. Thomas able to keep swinging because you gotta shield that self-destruct. So around midnight, able to claw that one back, but it came at a cost.
Yeah, such a brawly fight coming out for both teams. Now it's just going to be Deadeye online for around midnight. Meanwhile, on the other side, you're kind of chilling. You have the Blizzard, which is going to be pretty much your engage tool here. You have to obviously make sure Super B isn't going to eat it. But other than that, you just kind of descend to cart with it.
Oh,
but Super B does just that.
Oh, there it is. Super B with an amazing eat. He gets frozen up for it. And it looks like the fight is gonna devolve, and it looks like round midnight coming out on top. They did a good job of positioning themselves, able to catch out Great Wave in their rotation, and yeah, just cleaned up house.
Absolutely, and like I said, that Blizzard was the engage tool. The second it's off the table, there's nothing really left for the side of the Great Wave, and they're gonna have
an
they were gonna have an engage.
Nasty. That was nasty. Eli just picking off Wadded, unable to really let him get on the point with that ice block to let his team re-engage, recontest. 3 minutes 45 on the clock. Crazy.
I mean, yeah, and Eli right now putting on the performance of a lifetime, doing more than you can ever ask, because as I've highlighted several times,
ooh, the window of the dragon. What will come out of it looks like a lamp force out from Paracelsus. Skybeam falling to McMean, a big shatter from Thomas, cleaning up house. It's all blue in the kill feed, and blue this time is round. Been sound the team kill gong. There it is.
We're rounding the final corner here. Maybe Paracelsus finds something with the window. I don't think anybody can touch in time.
Oh, yeah. Close.
Around midnight.
Oh,
we
yeah, around midnight. They put on a clinic.
They're putting on a clinic, and it shouldn't be working by all accounts, you know. But the only reason it is working is because of Eli's consistency. Obviously, you know, McMean having some pretty flashy and good plays, like stuff like that yourself to open up point A. But Eli being able to consistently get picks is what's making him outvalue the Mei on the other team, because normally in all situations the Mei should be winning. And of course we need to highlight the divas in that match. I think like 5 ultimates eaten between the two of them. Absolutely
I know,
ridiculous.
that was crazy. Just a lot of ults being eaten. You could say the divas are cracked, but you could also say the DPS are just a little too absent-minded when throwing the ultimates out. But eating these ults single-handedly turns fights. I mean, Great Wave got their Blizzard eaten, so around midnight really just was able to collapse on them. They were really hinging on that Blizzard to win them the fight. You know, around midnight coming up on match point.
Yes, indeed. It's terrifying to be on match point, but the Great Wave, they get the map pick, and it looks like they want to go to Volskaya for the 2CP. And, you know, you gotta have some sort of strategy or plan going into this map. You can't just be blind picking and be like, oh, I guess we'll go Volskaya, because, you know, we highlighted match point. You know, Great Wave has to win, or at the very least draw this to stay in the series. Otherwise,
nice map set moment. Maps, nice production. Prod moment. Eichenwald is not a draw. He can't draw 2-2 on Eichenwald. It's very difficult. It's possible, but extremely difficult. It is actually 3-2 for around midnight. So There we go.
Seen it before, and we could see it again, but not today. Obviously, I don't think we're going back to Eichenwald anytime soon, unless Echo
Hey,
can duplicating.
maybe shenanigans. Maybe they draw 2 CP. Maybe they draw control. Who knows? Gonna be going into
draw
both Sky.
control.
Draw control. Yeah, first. Well, if it's gonna happen anywhere, it's gonna happen in B League. As see load in here, I think this team, they're definitely gonna want to run double bubble, especially attack, because you have these high grounds, you have these open clear. So double bubble is just really good at that, especially since Czar, if you're playing the defense, you're gonna be more spread out than like Brickle 2 CP map like Hanamura, Anubis. So which is perfect for double bubble. You're able to pounce on one, you're able to isolate them and take them out.
And maybe just something even beyond the map, as somebody who's played on a team with both Super B and Eli, I gotta say, like, right now, comms are probably a little bit clustered with Super B. Just, there's going to be a lot of hype, a lot of enthusiasm coming out, because he's just such a passionate player, and, doing what they did on Eichenwald, and combined with the fact he was eating ults, like, that could be, maybe a slight advantage for the Great Wave, because unless somebody on that team is raining Super B in to calm him down, it genuinely could throw away this map, as they're once again on this kind of unorthodox composition, except with a Sombra in play this time, just because it's Volskaya point A, I assume.
Yeah, locking down those health packs is so crucial, because you want to play around these health packs on Volskaya, because of their location, because of their amazing location. If you're able to control these health packs, you just kind of win, and that's just what you do. That's just the best way to control those. Sombra.
I mean, absolutely. You hack them, that way nobody else can use them. But we're seeing the double bubble, as you were talking about, and it's pretty much standard double bubble. We have the Echo, we have the Tracer. But the question is, like, I'm assuming it's just kind of this pick comp might be able to catch somebody out. It's pretty much also going to depend on Glizzy's bubbles here, bubbling whoever gets hooked, or just avoiding the hooks in general, as Thomas, maybe not a guarantee, but as I say that, immediately a hook, the Winston's won.
That bubble came just a little too late. Thomas able to get damage on the Skype before that bubble came through, which probably was the downfall. Was their downfall there for Great Wave. Tracer's just trying her best to harass. Maybe taking a swim there, going back to spawn, but yeah, you gotta be faster with those bubbles. You just have to.
I mean, yeah, and it's all about that reflex timing, right? You have to kind of time when the hog is going to hook. Maybe there you can kind of give a pass just because, you thought the Winston would bubble themselves. But, I don't know, Skybeam hasn't really looked comfortable on anything that isn't Reinhardt, and they haven't been able to facilitate that in a way outside of way back on Nepal, their Reinhardt-Winston comps.
I would also like to point out, Eli has an EMP already. First ultimate of the game is... So, that is just crazy. What? It taking a swim. A little too hot, I guess. That I guess the robot suit does get a little hot, steamy sometimes. Nice pulse bomb onto Minsky, but they're just gonna resurrect it right up, as Great Wave unable to really take the space. Oh, Thomas unable to finish off Paracelsus. It's anti taken out. Nano boost onto a full charge Zarya is just gonna pay dividends, as he's just gonna melt him. Still CEO just looking to touch, but yeah, those picks are going in favor of the Great Wave, and I mean that was unlucky. That was just unlucky.
No, well, there truly was an unlucky moment. It was caught on the very edge of the camera during the round, but actually, like, Eli was positioned fully for the EMP when that fight started, but because Rovera was antied, accidentally bashed back into his own backline just to hide because he was low, and found Eli, so Eli unable to get the EMP in that fight. I mean, it was clearly an accident, but Rovera able to spin it into having a rally, and the EMP's out now.
Yeah, EMP, nano boost onto the Winston, engaging into the backline. Skybeam getting melted in. We're getting topped up, so Wada can't just focusing beam them down. That was just a nice disengage from Great Wave. That is a trade you want to take. Again, you only rallied, and you're able to get out nano boost, you're able to get out EMP, and then you pick off the Sombra. So just great. This is just great.
Absolutely. Now you got to engage, but it's all going to be down to Thomas, if he can live long enough to get this primal, but the duplicate onto Waddit here is going to be big into the Winston and the backline.
Yeah, Seal CEO though, just kind of zoning him out and McBeam with the Bob as well, just to kind of help out with the backline. Thomas falling, but Skybeam gets traded. Super B gets taken out. No tanks for around midnight as they're looking to contest this point. I mean, Break is basically it, right? There it is, forcing out the recall from the Tracer, but Minsky getting picked off. Low healing for around midnight as they're going to be looking to contest. Thomas popping the primal. What will he do? Looks like he'll be going onto the Echo, just kind of knocking everyone everywhere, stirring up chaos, which is all you really need to do. He gets slept, stunned, and barely gets out with his life, but not much is really going in favor for around midnight here. Minsky getting a nice pick onto Aurelia, but not really much else as everyone instantly gets eviscerated there. Ash trying to touch, last minute last ditch efforts here, both for both teams. CO on point. Nice stick from Eli, forcing out Primal, but Primal might just be what they needed as you can see, he's just knocking everyone around, especially knocking them off point as well. Bomb from Super B, just kind of zoning everyone off, giving just a little bit of time for people to respawn. Seal CEO picks off Rovere on the Brigitte, so that's a lot of crowd control out of the way. Super B picking off Wada and getting nano boosted, which means he can do a lot of damage here. Thomas taking out Skybeam, and it looks like Valmina are going to be able to clutch this one back. Just the classic 2CP style coming back out from spawn.
I mean, absolutely. You know, 2CP, the defender's advantage on point B is massive, but also something that kind of went under the radar in that fight as well. Glizzy was picked at some point on the Diva early on, so forced to go over to the Wrecking Ball just to try to get back with the team. But by the time he's back, the team is already lost. And, you know, now we're going to this next fight. You're going to have the duplicate. Wadet starting it off again, really just ready to go in. Maybe not.
That was a very early duplicate. Oh, a nice whip shot from Seal CEO just means Wada can't get any value. So a lot of that duplicate's value has already been nullified. So there's just not a lot of time left on that ultimate, which honestly, that was just way too early from Wadded, as Thomas does get picked off by Glizzy as everything's happening. Raid boss is on field as Rovere gets nanoed up, about to pick up the rally as well, gonna pop it instantly. So a lot of sustainability for the Great Wave here. Minsky falls, which means no healing for around midnight, especially even when that Brigitte's out. So around midnight are gonna have to look to stall this one out again. I think you get under a minute, it would be massive, as 10 seconds stall for that barrier. Doesn't look like they'll really be able to hit it, as yeah, Seal CEO is unable to touch. 1:05 left on the clock.
You know,
that's just not great. That's just not great.
I actually think it's okay for, you know, both teams. You know, you can go into it with the mentality, if you're the Great Wave, of yes, we capped both points, or you can go into the mentality with just, oh, there's only a minute on the time bank. You know, as much as we call it 2 capture point, you know, you always kind of are used to seeing, you know, like the 3-4s, the 3-2, you know, overtime rounds are all but guaranteed in most situations, but there is a win con on the table now for the Great Wave, which is just hold point B. You don't even have to really care too much about point A. Just make sure that by the time the time runs out that they have not captured all 3 ticks on point B, and I think they have the potential to do it, you know? They've started synergized with the Winston a little bit better, Skybeam feeling a little bit more comfortable, and also Wadet just creating so much space on the Echo as well as picks, and then Rovere on the break also just being lights out. Don't really ever see it. It's kind of hard to say lights out on a break because you don't see it in the kill feed, but the health packs are probably coming in clutch onto both Wada and Aurelia, as that's kind of what makes this double bubble comp work.
Yeah, and but I mean, what is terrible for around midnight is that you are only 5 seconds away from getting Great Wave under a minute. So if you cap in overtime, that's it. You're gonna have to play for the draw, which is just honestly painful because 5 seconds is not a lot of time. As you know, we kind of start rolling out here. Nice double bubble with the Sombra coming out for fly here. Dead. So very, very traditional comps from both sides. Nice skirmish. It's around midnight looking to take the high ground. Nice hack on Aurelia. Will they be able to secure? Yes, Eli will be able to secure the kill. And they'll be pushing forward here down to DPS. Looks like Thomas will be engaging on that. Anything. Nice hack on the Skybeam means he cannot retreat. Paracelsus is getting taken out by McMee. It means another fast point A cap here. Point A was capped very quick for Great Wave and even quicker for around midnight. So I guess these teams are just not point A teams.
Yeah, you know, point A is, it's just, you know, it's a point on the map. You don't really have to worry about it. But Eli showing why in the last season of BPL in B League, he was the Sombra menace. I mean, the hacks there are super crucial, especially when you can force these Sombra mirrors, especially on such a good map like this. And you have to keep in mind, Round Midnight didn't even pick this map. You know, it was kind of a free gift almost from the Great Wave to be like, hey, here's the best Sombra map in the game for your Sombra 1 trick.
Yeah, exactly. You see Minsky with that nano boost gonna pop it early on to Thomas, looking to get into the backline. Nice coach gun and whip shot, just zoning him off, but zoned him right into Glizzy, taking out the Zarya there, and still nice and charged up as everyone just trying to look to get on the point. Skybeam does get taken out, so an advantage again continuing for Round Midnight. Echo into the backline, gets hacked up, unable to build up that duplicate on time before falling. Revere getting taken out. CCO with the sustainability on the rally, and wow,
They just can't touch. The duplicate for Wadit is at 98% when he falls over. I mean, that's painful, you know, because you start thinking if I had that duplicate in time, you know, 2%, that's one more shot from your primary fire. That's just another second of your focusing beam or something like that. Like, that's so minimal, you probably could have earned it at one point or another. And now we're looking at Round Midnight looking to secure the 3-1 victory here in this grand finals with just a 5-minute time bank. I mean, there has to be a miracle coming out for the Great Wave. You have to make something work with this 1 minute.
yeah, I mean, it is 2 CP. Anything can happen. I mean, both these teams have kind of shown that they aren't really point A team. With, you know, just fast caps going both ways. So if Great Wave are able to get that first cap, potentially even some percentage on second, and they're able to shore up any holes they had in their defense, they are in a pretty decent position to potentially make it work. I mean, again, this is Overwatch. It's just 2 CP. Anything can happen.
Yes, indeed. And it's just, there's got to be such an amount of pressure, and you've got to be able to keep cool in these situations. But I believe in the Great Wave to be able to keep calm under this pressure, as we're already below a minute, and you need to capture point A. You're not going to be able to hold point A for 5 minutes, so there is that extra sort of necessity, but you can do it. They're once again showing this kind of weird comp with the Roadhog. If you can get a good sleeper and anti, as the Winston just goes to the high ground, perfectly timed with the bubble.
Yeah, there it is. Harass onto Thomas on the Roadhog there, just chilling on point. Not much really being done from either team. I guess just building an ultimate, but you don't really have that luxury if you are Great Wave. Oh, McMeem getting picked off, but Glizzy getting traded, so that might actually be the go button for Round Midnight, because once you don't have that main tank, you could just go at him. Really trying its best to kind of harass the back line, but ooh, Skybeam taken out as well. Thomas does get traded, so they are looking to kind of siege the point as overtime begins now. Ooh, that pulse bomb unable to really kill anyone. Seal falls very low. Nice dive from Great Wave, able to pick him off. Paracelsus falls though. Minsky getting traded out. Wadid and Revere are no longer alive on that point. Rodriguez taken out. Glizzy hacked up, but able to pop the primal before doing so. Gets 2 picks actually, even though he is hacked up, able to pick up 2 picks. So this could be turnable for Great Wave. I mean, you do kind of have a slight spawn advantage. Thomas on the wrecking ball, just kind of creating space, stalling out the timer against 3%. Second tick not quite picked up just yet. Great Wave are returning to the point. Wadid has the duplicate to turn things. Paracelsus has the nano boost onto the Winston there on the Glizzy. He's just gonna be zapping. Paracelsus gets taken out by McBeam on that Doomfist. Skybeam falls as he returns. They are unable to really turn anything. Wadid on the Diva duplicate will be dropping the self-destruct on the point, zoning everyone off for a little bit. Able to pick off 2. Thomas and Eli fall. Oh, but no one's on the point.
Oh, that is heartbreak, as 2 more come through from the pulse bomb after the round is over. That is heartbreaking for the Great Wave. You won. Not only did you win that fight, but the for the side of Round Midnight, they were making such the crucial mistake of they were investing all of their ultimates into trying to defend point A. So after you win that fight, after you cap, you can snowball straight into point B because there's no ultimates waiting you on the other side. That touch could literally define this series because now you have 5 minutes and 10 seconds to hold 81% of point A.
That is one of the biggest letter numbers you can commit in this entire series. That one misstep from the Great Wave potentially costed them their championship. Because again, you had the self-destruct too. You zoned off around midnight from the point. They didn't have any shields available, so they had to step away from the point with that self-destruct. So you basically had no excuse to not be on there. It's just...
I mean, at this point, though, you kind of have to reset your mental. You can't be focused on what if. You just have to focus all of your energy into what could potentially become the 5-minute hold of Dreams.
Oh boy, 5 minutes means some
hard.
funny shenanigans can happen. McMeme on the Bastion. He does, I guess, around midnight do partake in a mild amount of tomfoolery. They're able to hack up and kill Aurelia, so that is just a first amazing pick. You're down a DPS for a 5-minute hold is just definitely not a position you want to be in. Meme just blasting everyone on that Bastion there, making sure no one can walk anywhere near him. Thomas picking off 2 means Great Wave are just going to be on the back foot. Waterfalls to Eli as well. Skybeam getting hacked up means no bubbles. 2 ticks about to be rolling in for around midnight, and there it is. Oh, never mind. A little early. Bubbles do come out. Oh, there it is. Just a smidgen early, but around midnight, picking up a clean 3-1 victory here in the 3rd installment of British Brawl here.
You know, we've all been there in one way or another, whether it be a comp game or other community tournaments like this, where a C9 like that is going to have you wondering what might have been, probably for the rest of your days if you're the Great Wave. But on the other side of things, around midnight, picking up the W, becoming your 3rd overall bi-weekly British Brawl champion. And, you know, as we highlighted at the start of this match, Super B and Eli, this is their 2nd time being champions, you know?
Yeah, I mean, here we have the entirety of Round Midnight coming in for the interview as well. I mean, just amazing gameplay all around. Night again showing, yeah, you know, they could, maybe we do a little trolling on Nepal, but then they just bounce back. They're able to get that momentum on Gibraltar and just snowballing it to a victory here. So I mean, hello, welcome the entirety of Round Midnight.
When did we play
How
Nepal?
are you guys?
It's not the entirety. Ajax isn't here.
I don't remember
Ajax
Nepal.
is gone.
I didn't think that was in the pool.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't play.
So, before this call devolves into chaos, let's ask some proper interview questions, and let's start with, you know, probably my player of the match at the very least. I don't know if anybody will agree with me, but Eli, I mean, on the Hanzo, the phenomenal picks. You're a 2-time bi-weekly Brawl champion. How does it feel?
It feels freaking epic, poggers. Fortnite.
Yes, I mean, again, you were able to secure those picks, especially on the back line of Great Wave, as catching them out mid rotation. True, catching them out in rotation, able to make sure that Great Wave aren't able to do anything. Just kind of proving that, yeah, you might have a May, but I'm just the better player.
I'm literally just better. It doesn't matter if you play a better character. I'm just better. So
yeah, and I mean, I agree. Yeah, Eli did amazing. I don't disagree with the play of the match call here.
let's fucking go.
Absolutely. But this next question just kind of goes to the whole team as general, as throughout this tournament, you guys pretty much would always go to Gibraltar and you'd always sort of pound there. Was there extra scrim time maybe put into Gibraltar? Maybe just confidence on the map in general with your synergy, or just any kind of thought process?
I think that was the only escort map we scrimmed.
Yeah.
We scrimmed Rialto once.
I legitimately.
Once. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When we scrimmed
dominated on
Rialto, we
Rialto.
full held them, and we capped with like almost 5 minutes.
4:57 on the clock.
Yep.
Oh boy.
People were afraid.
And we played
And-
freaking Hanzo on a rush. It was so funny.
Yeah. So about Gibraltar is we have this funny guy who doesn't know about mic named the Comedian, and there's this really cool thing about Gibraltar where there's a lot of high ground. So if you have the flanking high ground, I mean, how do you stop McMean?
That is true. McMeem again flanking
and-
on that high ground is all
And
the time.
we also go Gibraltar because it's where my funny crack pipe like really works really well. My funny hog Sigma comp, where it's like literally the counter to that comp is to go rush, and it's just like, dude, just go rush on Gibraltar, low W, like, haha, let's go rush on Gibraltar, guys. It's like that's the counter to the comp, but people are so dependent on playing dive on Gibraltar to where if you just run hog sig, people are just like, what the hell do we do?
Yeah, true. I mean, and I mean, I see you guys did that as well on Volskaya. Didn't really work out the first time, but it definitely worked out the second. So
Look, it only didn't work out the first time because we jumped off the map.
Yeah, he does a little trolling. He just wanted to play back.
He does a little trolling.
You should have heard
I
the
mean-
comms on when we like before we wanted like, oh yeah, McMean play Bastion lol, and then he did, and we were like, wait.
I mean, it ended up working out, right? It locked down the
Yeah.
sight line. It prevented Great Wave from really engaging.
Their monkey can't
So-
engage on a Bastion, bro.
Yeah, just
The
not.
Sombra Bastion, he gets hacked and his bubble gets broken instantly.
Oh, we didn't even get to go to Helios where my other crack pipe takes
Oh,
place.
dude, if we
I
went to
have crack pipe
Helios,
for Helios.
Wi-Fi, don't
yeah.
tell him. Don't tell him. We gotta save this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
don't
yes,
tell him.
yes.
Next brawl.
Yeah.
Save for the next brawl.
Draft this
Hey,
same
you can't
team.
take credit for that. That one came from Georgia.
Draft the same
Well, I
team.
don't even know.
It's a-
I don't even know if I'll I was thinking about just doing the one captain and one captain winning and then dipping out.
So smart.
I mean, absolutely. And, obviously there will be more British balls in the future, but you guys are all champions now. It feels pretty good. One more question I have is, obviously you were one of the teams that didn't get that bye, and you played your way all the way through. Did you feel that kind of helped you to get that extra match in, or did you just feel you were better from the start?
Better.
We're just better.
No, yeah, we were just better from the start. We literally, like, McMean every single time after scrim, we like didn't drop. I don't think we dropped a single map in any scrim that we played, like legitimately, and like we dropped one map throughout all of scrims, and then literally McMean after every single scrim was like, "Yo, Wi-Fi, when are we gonna get a better scrim buddy?" I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, come down. Like, I'm trying my best, bro. Like,
Not our fault
my,
they drafted, not us.
my
Not our
bad.
fault that McMean was like the last pick in the
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it points. Yeah, McMeem again popping off on the DPS, but also the no mic warlord. I mean, we've seen some of these in history. Names like Bob from the SNF on Goats tourney. So I mean, how does it feel? Make like the no mic warlord here. And I guess we're all gonna sit in awkward silence as we wait and answer.
Yeah,
That's
we
usually
wait
what
for
happens.
typing.
I don't know. While we wait, I can just big up McMean's calm.
He says,
They're phenomenal.
he says, well, you see, when I can't speak, and my team hard carries comms.
I don't know,
Yeah.
McMean had some pretty good comms in that one scrim we did.
Yeah, McMean's
Yeah.
comms are goaded. I don't think McMean's ever tilted us once. It's like
Mm-mm.
Yeah, his team hard carries and he shoots people, and
In the head.
and then his team gasses him.
Yeah, true. I mean, are we ever gonna get a McMeme voice reveal?
No,
He said if we won, I thought.
he says no. He says no. We literally
says
offered
no.
him. We literally
Unlucky.
offered to buy him a
why-
microphone if we won. I literally offered to buy him a microphone. I told him to send me his address. I was gonna buy him a microphone, and he was like, "Nah."
No. He
Damn.
looked at some of his
Hey.
magic.
Continue to exist as an enigma. I mean, that's definitely an energy you love to see going forward,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, just amazing stuff. You guys, I was kind of hoping for that, undefeated victory. So,
Yeah,
but either way, you guys played really well. Nice gameplay all around. Nepal didn't happen, I guess.
it didn't.
it didn't. What do
So,
you mean? I don't
yeah.
know what that map is.
That was our
Yes,
warm
Nepal-
up. That was our warm up scrim.
The
Mhm.
warm-up
Yeah.
map, I get it.
Well,
Yeah,
So-
I'm. See, maybe if we got a warm up scrim instead of having to play Tiny Overwatch for half an hour, we win that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Well-
should have just pulled the clients, warmed each other up.
Yeah, but
But-
you know,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. You guys are winners. Go enjoy, celebrate your victory. Thank you all for coming into the interview. Once again, just in the chat, round of applause for the entirety of Round Midnight and just the entire tournament as general. You know, another week of the British bi-weekly Brawl, and it goes off without a hitch. You know, maybe some NA production comments here and there, but worked out pretty well. And it was such a pleasure to get to cast this grand finals here with you, Mustard, and just any words to take us out.
Your time, by the way.
Yeah, again, I mean, everyone stay tuned for the next one. Remember, join the server, whatnot. Again, follow, turn on notifications, whatever it may be. You know, we're just putting on nice community tournaments, just having fun, just a bunch of gamers vibing in the Overwatch video game. So that'll be all from us here on here in the British bi-weekly Brawl. Stay tuned for the 4th installment. We have a lot of tournaments in the community as well coming up in the coming weeks. I know we have a Revert Warlock Rumble coming up next weekend. Where signups are still open. There's a Valorant tournament in our community as well coming up next month. So stay tuned for those. And
That's
you
next
know,
month.
it's next. So yeah. Anyways, guys, stay tuned. And yeah, have a good night.
Twitch.tv/Skyler25.
They're just a good company.